Hi, this is Miss Andrea. I am one of the STEM educators here at the Children's Museum of Houston. We're in our Eco Station today, and I am bringing you a project that is sponsored by the Hamill Foundation and in part by the City of Houston through the Houston Arts Alliance. The project I brought you today is all recycle. It's recycle art and nature, something that's very close to my heart. And this is it right here. This is a tree shadow box, and I'm going to teach you how to do something similar or maybe even the same thing. So let's get started. Okay, for this activity, the supplies you're going to need, very minimal. Cardboard, you're going to need twigs. I would go ahead and get, if you have these are clippers, a little bit of paint, some paintbrushes, some water, and basically that's it. If you don't want to use cardboard, you can come up, if you find a little cardboard box that you can use, that'd be great. You can also use a wood box. I really like this one. I can see it painted dark and it put my sky in. So I think the most important part of the project is the tree twigs. And the twigs, I look for ones that have a lot of character. Like this has a lot of character, it's really pretty. And then I try to find the best part that's gonna look like a tree. So you just kind of have to pick a bunch of sticks and then find the ones that are gonna work for you. If you'll notice in my box, they're not all straight. So you want to look for ones that have, different characteristics. You want them all to be the same, because then it's kind of boring, and that's not the way that it is in nature. And there's also like a little bit of curve to it or twist to it, so you don't necessarily want to look for the straightest ones. Okay, so let's look at the shadow box. What we're going to do first is look for our nice pieces of wood and cut them down. So like I talked to you about before, find the ones that have the best character, cut them all about the same length, and so you're going to use your clippers. Now, science and art is fun, but sometimes it can be dangerous. So you want to make sure that you have an adult that's going to help you with this part, because you could get hurt with this. You're going to look for the size that you want, decide based on your box what size you need. So if I was doing it for this box, I would make it a little bit taller, because you can always make it shorter. But if you make it too short, then you're going to have a problem. So you cut all your pieces down, and then if you look at my box, what I did was I kept moving the sticks around till I liked it. I kind of like a little opening there in the middle. You might like a whole forest, so you might want to put trees all over. But I left a little opening because I wanted you to be able to see the sky. So you find your pieces, use a little bit of hot glue and glue them down. If you don't have hot glue, you can make a little hole in the cardboard and stick the trees in there. What I did was I put a bunch of cardboard together, I cut it, I glued it, and then I put little clamps on it, or a piece of a book or something heavy till it dried, and I made my edges. So I decided what size I wanted, and you can kind of see that here where I glued the pieces together. The reason you can't see it in the front is because I don't like the way it looked in the front. It was ugly. So I used some really thin cardboard like this, and I made a little frame. And I cut that frame out and I glued it to the front of it. So it made a nice little appearance in the front. And then I painted it black because I just wanted the emphasis to be on the trees, but you can put all kinds of decoration if you'd like. I prefer really the emphasis to be on the little scene on the inside. And so this is really easy. This is basically all I did, and then I painted a background. If you'll notice on my background, I kind of made it like a sky. You'll notice it's light blue on the bottom and it comes up. To get that light blue, you want to add a little bit of white to blue, just a little bit of orange. Yeah, orange. Orange will help to dull the sky and not make it look so unreal. And then you just go up, adding blue, adding blue, adding blue. So it goes from light to dark. You don't have to do that. You could make a red sky. You could make a sunset. You could make a whole scene in the background. The thing doesn't really matter, the background, it depends on what you like. Because this is something for you to have to help you calm down and to really enjoy the outside when you can't go outside. I like to keep it by my desk to look at it. So the background is really up to you, and then I just glued the background to the box. Now, if you did a box like this, like say you found a box, I think this one had soap or somebody gave me for Christmas. I really liked the box, so I kept it. Then I would just paint the background, paint around it, and put my sticks in it. So it's really that simple, but why? Because nature did most of the work for you. So all the beauty is in in the trees and the character. I don't know if you can see all that, but the nice little bark on there, I love the colors on it. And I also got different colors, so not everything looks the same. So you can also pick wood pieces that are darker. You can put them in with the lighter, or you can put some that are just dark. Play around with it, make a big one. These are really beautiful when you do them. So I just want to remind you, trees are strong because the wind challenges them, and also because they have xylem, which is where the water goes up the tree, and those are in the form of cylinders, and cylinders are really strong. Cylinders are one of the strongest shapes, and so you have all these little cylinders run up the tree, and that helps to keep it strong also. Okay, so I wanted you to see kind of how I went about measuring it. And what I did was I took my wood piece and I looked to see a little bit higher than where this line is, just in case that it's too small. But even if you come up too small, you can add some hot glue and that'll put it in there. Now look, I like this. So I always look to see what's the best side, and I kind of like this little stump right here. So that's kind of me. It's a little bit tall, but I like it kind of at an angle. And here's another one that I cut, kind of like that one too. And what I did was, you don't want them all to be lined up. So I put some in the front, some in the back, some in the middle. I moved them around until I liked what I saw. So here's another one that I cut. And I would say, you know, it just depends on what you like. I like a little opening. I like to feel like I'm in the mountains and looking through an opening down into a valley. So that's me. So that's why I left a little opening on mine. But you can really place them wherever you'd like. I wouldn't glue them or set them for sure until you've moved them around and you like where they are. And like I said, if one's too short, you can always add a little bit of hot glue at the bottom. And you can paint whatever you want in here. I almost painted a whole valley with mountains, but I ran out of time. You could do that though. You could do all kinds of stuff, and you say, well, I don't really know how to paint. You could also cut out of a magazine and put a background from the magazine in there, and that would be just as well. So very easy project, really nice doing art, remembering about the trees and what makes them strong. I didn't know that that's what made trees strong, so I think it's interesting, and that's why I'm passing it on to you, because it's really cool. So I hope you enjoyed today's project. I hope you make one of these shadow boxes. Just remember, every time that you look at it, think about how the trees are strengthened by the wind and challenged, and how they become stronger, just like we can become stronger when we're challenged. So I hope that you enjoy the art and also thinking about how we can become strong. This is Miss Andrea. I will see you later.